Now, finally, and you may say it's hardly worth talking about, but I have an interest in it. Uh, the Democrats they went for bust. They pushed old Joe off the cliff. They put the most doltish alternative they could find, the subject of your masterful biography of Kamala Harris, which everyone should still read. They put her in. It was a big gamble. They spent, I think, $1.3 billion, even though they're a few $100 million short, I understand, in debt. Are they finished now? Might they split now? After all, this is a party without any trace of what it was supposed to be. It was, if you like, its DNA was supposed to be the blue-collar party, the working-class party, the party that wanted peace, the party that wanted American jobs, and so on. It is so far from that now, rather like the British so-called Labour Party. Is it time to call it a day for the American masses with the Democratic Party?
Well, it's interesting because we're hearing some Democratic Party voices saying it's time to change their strategy, that they need to stop telling American workers that they're voting against their own interest in a condescending way. They need to look into what working class values in America really are. But that said, my concern is about Inauguration Day, because we saw what happened the last time Donald Trump was inaugurated. There was a huge amount of violence in the streets of Washington, D.C. There are sections of the American intelligence apparatus that are hoping to weaken the Trump presidency with violent provocations. I am concerned about security in Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Day. I'm going to be in D.C., my organization, the Center for Political Innovation. We will be there engaging with Trump supporters. We have a banner of Trump and Kim Jong-un shaking hands that says only peace can make America great again. We're going to engage with Trump supporters about opposing imperialism and building peace around the world. And we're having an event, a reception that evening in Washington, D.C. But we're going to be there to engage with those who voted for Trump because they want peace. But I'm very concerned about what the Answer Coalition, led by Brian Becker, is planning. They have staged and got permits for a demonstration that is taking place on that day. And they say it's going to be peaceful, but we saw what happened last time Trump took office. The cars that were torched, the people that were injured, the many young people who were caught up in that and arrested. If Brian Becker and the Answer Coalition are to be responsible, they need to cancel this demonstration. People voted for Trump because they want to make peace around the world. Donald Trump was elected on a platform of getting the USA out of the Ukraine conflict, and he's opposed by the foreign policy establishment. And we know that this demonstration they are planning is going to be utilized by provocateurs, by Antifa elements to try and taint the Trump presidency with violence. The Answer Coalition needs to cancel their demonstration that is taking place on Trump's inauguration. They need to call it off so that they cannot facilitate the provocative actions being planned by the pro-NATO faction of the deep state. Let's recall that John Bolton, who served in Trump's administration, said that if Donald Trump was ever elected and ever took office again, the USA would leave the NATO alliance. I hope John Bolton is right. We need to leave the NATO alliance. And the opposition to Trump is coming from the foreign policy establishment. This isn't a guarantee that Trump is going to do good things, but if there's any possibility of things improving, it means that those of us who want U.S. relations around the world and the U.S. wars all across the planet to de-escalate, we need to loudly support any positive action that Donald Trump might take. So my hope is that the Answer Coalition, which claims to be an anti-war organization, will cancel their demonstration, their rally that is basically going to become a space for provocateurs working on behalf of NATO to destabilize Washington, D.C. If they are truly anti-war, they need to cancel their demonstration. That is my call for the Answer Coalition, for the Palestine activists. They need to call off the provocative demonstration planned for Trump's Inauguration Day.